The first impression is usually the last. However true that may be, the fact remains that a first impression can sometimes be easily missed if it is not powerful enough. This is especially true for entrances. A visitor entering a home or an office first encounters the door, but normally takes no notice of the door, unless it is either regally embellished or awfully ruined. You want to make sure that your door makes a grand first impression. An entrance that is welcoming will be undoubtedly remembered for years to come. Doors have come a long way from being used for the mere purpose of maintaining privacy and security to becoming beautiful structures, an integral part of a home's interior. Homeowners these days have a long list of door options available to choose from when furnishing their homes. There are panel doors, glass doors, PVC doors, steel doors, membrane doors, skin doors, and last but most importantly, flush doors. Century Ply has mastered the art of creating flush doors, which are not only functional in terms of strength and security, but also visually appealing and inviting to the viewer's eye. Flush doors have plain facings on both sides and can be used as both interior and exterior doors. A flush door has a basic structure composed of solid block-board core and vertical stiles and horizontal rails that create a prefixed frame. The block-board is composed of wooden strips that are placed edge to edge and sandwiched between veneers, then bonded under high pressure and temperature using a synthetic resin. A flush door is so called because it has an entirely smooth surface. If water were to be splashed on its surface, it would simply flow off its surface without accumulating. Aside from that, flush doors have many other qualities that make them far superior from other door types. Century Ply flush doors have a larger uniform frame to support the core as compared to other flush doors. Regular flush doors have loose fillers, hence making them weak, whereas Century Ply flush doors are made with compact solid wood fillers that make them incomparable in terms of strength. Century Ply flush doors come with a lock area on both sides for ease of installation. They are 100% boiling waterproof. Our flush doors have extremely smooth surfaces, hence do not suffer from waviness like other doors do due to their uneven surfaces. And finally, Century Ply flush doors have a strong bonding with their laminates or decorative veneers, unlike regular flush doors. Furthermore, there are other generic factors that can put Century Ply flush doors above regular flush doors, such as they can survive seasonal changes, allowing the least possible expansion or contraction in shape. They are less prone to a termite or borer attack. They are more utilitarian than other doors, as they can be easily matched with different interiors of a home. They are easy to maintain and clean. And finally, they are very cost-effective. However, to understand their superiority properly, it is important to take a closer look into the making of a flush door. The process begins at a sawmill, where highly matured logs, free from any natural defect, are cut into planks of different shapes and sizes. These planks then undergo a chemical treatment. They're treated with concentrated and saturated chemical composition of boron compounds using the dip diffusion method. This treatment protects the wood from termite and borer attacks. Once treated with chemicals, the planks are then sent for drying by exposing them to ambient air. This technique is called air seasoning. Here, the layers of planks are separated by crossers and stacked on raised foundations in a clean and dry place. The next process is kiln seasoning. This is the most important step for achieving the promising quality standard for doors that we have set. This process, the planks are stacked inside a kiln to season the timber to the desired moisture contents. A kiln is a chamber that is equipped to heat and humidify the air and its circulation over the surface of the timber stacked inside it to desired drying conditions. The seasoning of the timber starts at a comparatively lower temperature and a higher humidity level. These conditions gradually keep altering as the timber dries until the targeted moisture content is achieved. The duration of the kiln seasoning depends on the initial moisture content and the refractoriness of the timber. Most manufacturers, however, do away with this process in order to save the cost required to set up an industrial kiln. They, instead, rely entirely on air drying. This is because they fail to understand fully the benefits of kiln seasoning over air drying. You see, timber can be dried to any desired low moisture content using kiln seasoning. Whereas in air drying, moisture content of less than 18% is difficult to attain. Kiln seasoning also helps in sterilizing the timber, as the temperature and humidity employed typically kills all fungi and insects in the wood, whereas in air seasoning, this function can't be achieved. And lastly, being dependent on atmospheric conditions, the air seasoning is not suitable for proper drying and does not come without the risk of cracking or splitting the timber. Once the correct level of dryness is achieved, the planks are cut into various thicknesses. This process is called ripping and planing. These cut planks, called fillers or battens, are used to assemble the inner core of the doors. The planing process ensures a smooth surface of the fillers and the frame. The planks are then used to make vertical stiles of the frame. However, since a single plank style is weak by nature, it's cut into smaller wooden blocks with finger cuts. Each block is then affixed to another at the finger joint to create the style, providing more strength than any other joint. Once the style is made, the external frame of the door is composed with the help of special fasteners to adjoin the style and the rail. After which, battens are placed on both sides for the lock area on the door. Next process is board assembly. Here, wooden battens are placed end to end inside the frame, with the end joints compressed to leave no space in between. Once the board is assembled, gluing of the core and face veneers is carried out. Here, the unextended BWB grade synthetic resin containing our patented technology of glue line protection is applied on the core veneers. It is then placed as grain direction of core veneers running at right angles on either side surfaces of the blockboard assembly. The face veneer is then overlaid on either side, thus assembling a 5-ply construction for unmatched strength and sturdiness. Once the veneers and frame are assembled, that assembled bunch is fed into a single opening hydraulic cold press under a certain pressure at ambient temperature. This helps distribute the GLP and moisture thoroughly, thus ensuring that the panel is microbial decay proof and makes the door warp resistant. Pre-pressing is a unique process only conducted by Century Ply. After pre-pressing, hot pressing follows. Here, the pre-pressed panels are fed into a multiple opening hydraulic hot press. This cures the glue to bind the layers under a defined pressing cycle at a higher temperature and under specific pressure. The higher pressure guarantees a higher compression within the timber, thus giving the door a longer life. Finally, the assembled door goes through the finishing and branding process. Here, the door is processed through edge trimming and sanding, after which the surface is treated with non-leachable and highly effective preservative chemical solutions to protect the door in its entirety from borer and termite. At last, the door passes through to stringent quality checks at multiple stages before it is branded using stamps and dispatched to defined destinations. The entire manufacturing process is a thorough one to ensure that at the end of it, all the doors are of highest quality. All our flush doors are of boiling waterproof grade and IS 22021 certified. But this kind of quality is only maintained because our doors pass through a total of 15 rigorous tests. Let's understand some of these with a little more clarity. Shock resistance test. A spherical leather sailcloth bag of approximately 30 kgs is hung as a pendulum. and the shutter is given 5 impacts at a handle level on both sides of the door. Slamming test. Door shutter is placed at a horizontal position hinged at 3 equidistant places. The edge is lifted up so as to form an angle of not less than 30 degrees at the hinged edge and allowed to drop under its own weight 50 times on the rail. That concludes the production and quality test process of a flush door. Hope you had a good time knowing about Century Doors. Goodbye.